I was the first to arrive and the last to leave at Sterling Financial for 9 years. While others clocked in at 9 and left at 5, I stayed behind to fix what others overlooked. My name rarely appeared on client reports, but every smooth audit, every reconciled ledger, and every crisis quietly resolved carried my fingerprints. They called me reliable. I called it being invisible. Victor Kane, the managing director, was the public face of Sterling. Polished smile, confident voice, always ready with the right phrase for investors. To outsiders, he was the brilliant leader who had grown the firm. To me, he was the man who took credit for my weekend work, nodded through my risk warnings, and promoted loud young analysts who reminded him of himself. I had joined when the company was smaller, building the custom reporting system that became our backbone. I trained new hires, calmed nervous clients during market dips, and caught errors that could have cost millions. Victor liked to say we were a team, but teams don't ignore your contributions for years while handing bonuses to golf partners. Lately, the air felt different. Victor brought in fresh graduates, confident boys with sharp suits and shallow experience. They spoke fast and listened little. I tried to guide them, sharing years of practical knowledge, but they treated my advice like background noise. Victor started skipping our check-ins. Key meetings happened without me. I overheard him telling HR one afternoon, "She's been here too long. We need new energy, not old habits." I said nothing and kept working. The quarterly board review was approaching, the one that could secure our biggest institutional client. Every forecast, every compliance check, every contingency rested on systems I alone fully understood. The termination meeting came on a Wednesday at 4:30 p.m. Victor and HR sat across the table, faces neutral. "We're streamlining," Victor said, avoiding my eyes. "Your role doesn't fit the new structure. We're moving to a centralized analytics team." They offered 2 months severance and spoke of valuing my service. No mention of the late nights, the holidays I had worked, or the clients I had saved. I placed my laptop on the table. "Everything for the board review is ready and updated." Victor looked relieved. "Good. Handle this professionally." I smiled faintly. Always. Security walked me out in silence. No goodbyes. I stepped into the cool evening and walked to a quiet cafe nearby. I ordered coffee and sat by the window. 10 minutes later, my phone lit up. The board review system had locked. Reports loaded but refused to generate. Dashboards showed data yet blocked any export or presentation mode. Nothing was deleted, just sealed behind safeguards I had quietly built years ago as protection, never expecting to trigger them. When my access was revoked and the main laptop logged in under a new user, certain core modules froze. Victor's first text was sharp. "What happened? Call me now." I sipped my coffee and watched the streetlights flicker on. More messages followed. The new analysts panicked. The institutional client waited impatiently in the conference room. Victor tried to bluff, blaming technical issues, but the clients had trusted Sterling because of the consistency I had delivered for years. At 6:15 p.m., Victor called. I let it ring. His voicemail was tense. "Fix this immediately." By morning, the damage was done. The institutional client postponed indefinitely and began speaking with competitors. 2 new analysts resigned by Friday, citing unstable leadership. Victor called again on Thursday evening, voice stripped of its polish. "I was too hasty. We clearly undervalued you. Come back as a consultant. Name your rate. Just unlock the system so we can recover." I answered calmly. "You didn't just remove a person, Victor. You removed the knowledge that kept everything working. That was your decision." He offered promotions, apologies, even equity. The words rang hollow from a man who only saw my worth once I was gone. I didn't unlock anything. The system would release on its own after 48 hours, but the trust would not. Within 3 weeks, I had steady independent consulting work from former clients who had dealt directly with me. Rates finally matched the value I brought. One evening, a message arrived from Lena, a former colleague who had left 2 years earlier. "Heard what happened. Proud of you. If you ever start something new, count me in." I opened an old folder on my laptop containing sketches for a simpler financial dashboard. Clean, transparent, built for real users instead of impressing boards. The quiet satisfaction wasn't the temporary chaos at Sterling. It was realizing I had never been the problem. I had simply carried a firm that refused to carry me in return. Now I was finally building something that began with respect, for the work and for myself.